this concept of the principles-based nature of the standard. And I think one thing that the marketplace is finding out is that it's going to be difficult to get consistency, and different companies are looking at what competitors are doing and peers are doing within the marketplace. And there are some questions about whether there's going to be comparability, whether different companies are going to be doing different things within the same industry. But preparers are really trying to focus on having consistency with what they're doing. But it is difficult when you're talking about a principles-based standard. Jason also mentioned sales commissions. We are getting a fair amount of calls on deferred acquisition costs when you have sales commissions, particularly in the software industry. You sell a product and you have commissions associated with that. What's the period that you amortize those commissions over, or that deferred acquisition costs over? So we're getting a lot of questions on that. And then also loyalty programs. All of us are familiar with loyalty programs. You buy a product or you use your credit card, you get points associated with those. They have a incremental value to them. So those are separate obligations within themselves. So this underlines the importance for companies to have systems and processes and controls in place, because you have a tremendous amount of transactions, you've got a lot of different data. So how do you make sure that that data is accurate and complete and you have controls over it? So these are some of the areas where we're getting questions as well. And then when you think about 2018 and you're talking about implementation, there's fuller disclosures, and companies will have to make more fuller disclosures in the interim periods. So that becomes a focus as well. And do you have the proper controls and governance around making those fuller disclosures for the marketplace? So those are a few other issues related to revenue that may have been surprising for some companies. But I think that if one thing that we're seeing is that what companies have learned from implementing revenue is that you got to get started early. And with some of the other topics that we'll talk about tonight, I think that they've taken heed to that and are really starting early.